wanting to improve.
Former Tongan international Willie Losse is sidelined.
Yeah, kia ora everybody. A great night here at North Harbour. As you can see, the lights are on clearly and a little bit of dew over the top, 13 degrees, but the players won't feel that at all. Interesting to note as well, Ken, that North Harbour won the toss and have elected to actually kick the ball off, and they will be playing from left to right or away from the scoreboard as you see it.
Counties Manukau promoted from the championship round in 2012. Hika Elliott, of course, a welcome return to ITM Cup action for him. Fritz Lee, of course, a solid contribution when given the opportunity for the Chiefs in 2013. The visitors, Counties Manukau, who were well beaten by Wellington in the first round of the competition last weekend. Among their outstanding players tonight is Frank Hala, who scored 10 tries in the Super 15 competition in 2013. Playing, of course, for the Blues. He's a superstar of the New Zealand Sevens team at 103 kilos. Big, fast, and very elusive Frank Hala out on the left wing. For the home team, North Harbour. Well, Greg Pleasance-Tate, a big acquisition in the off-season from Bay of Plenty. Cody Ray at fullback was very solid in their loss. The Blues in the Battle of the Bridge last weekend. David Raikuna, if given an opportunity, can be very, very powerful and influential with the football. Tuasa Sevi. At the back, another player who was very prominent, particularly in the second half against Auckland last weekend. Ben Awhiaki, who's very close to All Black contention. Many would say, and we talk about players who are really making a big strides at blindside flanker for the North Harbour. Jordan Manahira out of Mount Albert Grammar and the Silverdale Club, of course, a New Zealand 20s player, 1.95 metres, 113 kilos. He's young, good with the football, aggressive, and another player with a big future, Jordan Manahira. Head-to-head, relatively evenly shared at 3 and 2 wins each. John Elric, moments away from a start here at North Harbour the stadium, and it will be Counties Manukau who will have first use of the football. Elric goes short with the start. Pleasance-Tate. Loose ball, a little half a chance, but they've all lost forward as Iona made a grab for the football.
Yeah, I think we saw the ball was a little bit exposed there, and Harbour might have been a little bit lucky, but they need to get numbers over the top of the ball. Here we're going to see the first scrum of the night, obviously, and from what we saw last week, hopefully it's an improvement.
I was hoping you'd comment on this. I was actually looking forward to seeing what you're going to say, Dowdy.
Well, there's one thing, I do like this prop, Greg Pleasance-Tate for Harbour. He's one to watch for the future. He's only a youngster. You say an acquisition from the Bay of Plenty, but he was born and bred in Harbour. He went down there and he's come back, so New Zealand 20s player himself.
Bind. Set. Yes, 9.
There we see the second shunt coming through. It's what the new rules we'll see a lot of. Nice and tidy.
With a little inside ball. It's not taken cleanly. Baden Kerr.
He's overcooked that one.
And North Harbour will be disappointed as well with the way that they started there with Elric bringing in Tuatavaki in match 50 of the ITM Cup. Really just looking up, not really attention to detail with the ball. And big question for me is going to be just the concentration. 4-day turnaround for North Harbour after losing by 7 points to Auckland.
And of course, County's having a long time to think long and hard about last week's performance.
And you hear the thrower for Harbour. And a hero at the front of the line at Elric for Saseve. Hall behind a couple of decoy players, and then immediately they go to the edge of the County's Manukau defence. North Harbour, good footy.
Yeah, good vision. Opened behind, saw the space, took the kick option. Clever football. Nuffy Tuatavaki, big game for him tonight, 50 games, and of course he's marking Frank Halley.
Pulu. Oh, nice variation, but then there's an error from Vaipulu. And here, Hall, short blind to work. Afiaki. Hall, Elric, Saseve, back on the inside, the big second five.
Play, ball is out.
Isolated initially, good work by Adam Cathcart.
Turnover's good.
Now they've won the ball. Pulu
Touch.
looks for some field position. Key. And the kick return, nicely done by Harbour. Hall. Elric. Aidan Kerr is back in cover.
Yeah, just the initial encounters with Harbour, just the numbers over the ball at the breakdown is something they're going to have to be concerned about. That's twice now they've had the ball exposed, and County's been able to capitalise, getting a turnover on that last one.
So Baden Kerr, some playing time as well for the Blues in 2013. Tuatavaki with a midfield bomb. Highlight. Big winger, straight into contact. Good recycle. Pulu. Pressure ball away for Iono. He's over the advantage line. Over the left side, Baden Kerr. Flat ball for Cathcart. Pulu with an attacking kick for Tuala. And marshalled over the touchline by David Rakuna.
Well, that was a well-constructed attack by Counties. Numbers over the ball into contact, that very tidily, and then they took the kick option just to cash in on the territory.
Four-man line out, a bit of movement in the line before Jordan Manahira. Hall just getting some field position.
Good set play, they'll be thrilled with that. Good execution, taken down, then a good clearance from Hall. And we've seen in the opening 5 minutes a couple of players losing the ball because there is some dew on the field here. As Counties Manukau go quickly.
Baden Kerr. Now Lilo. It's a nice footwork to open up the Harbour defence. An inside ball, and the try's been scored by Vaipulu. Has he got the ball down? The referee says eventually yes.
Yes, he got it down there.
So the speed and the footwork of Ray Lilo. And the finish from Vaipulu.
Came from the quick line out. Counties are here to play tonight, obviously. They're going to throw the ball around. They're going to use their ball players, and Ray Lilo spied the gap midfield. Here we see the quick line out. Baden Kerr taking it to, giving it to Ray Lilo, just stepping inside Scott Urin there. Of course, the number's not pushing out.
Overcompensated ahead, isn't he? the open side flanker, and once Lilo got through, he knew that the support was on the inside. Good work here by Sasevi, just keeping him up, but then just as he's flipped there, Vaipulu gets it down for this 5-pointer.
Yeah, I think he might have just got the spacings on defence a little bit wrong. They weren't pushing across evenly. They'll be talking about that under the post, I'm sure.
Baden Kerr with a conversion. It's Vaipulu's name on the score sheet, but it's Ray Lilo who was all over it. And a very good return. So Elric. A bit more depth on the kick and a good chase. But eventually tied it up. Pulu. All charged down by Awhiaki, so a chance for Harbour. Pleasance Tate squares up to the county's Manukau defence.
I can't have you having 2 goes at it. Okay? Ruck had formed the second time.
Referee saying ruck was formed. You had 1 crack at it. You can't have a second crack. It's time to leave it. Good pressure from Harbour. When the halfback's going to kick, you're going to make sure you've got a bit of space, and when you get a mountain of a man like Ben Awhiaki, you're going to need a little bit more space to kick it over him or around him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hector Elliott's just coming back to get the reasoning from the referee. Here's the charge down from Awhiaki. Good pressure on Pulu, and then once they drove it forward, you'll see here Hector Elliott will come into the picture. He's the man that helps with the tackle. He has 1 lick here, not successful, and he goes again, and that's why he's penalised.
Some let it go and some blow the whistle. Elric.
Well, that's the way to respond if they're going to at least bank the points, take the 3, stay in touch.
Baden Kerr. A very good chase from Countess Manukau as well, catching the receiver inside the 22. Pulu couldn't get the ball cleanly. Fritz Lee gets some momentum. Stowers at first receiver with a messy ball. Highlight from a standing start. It's a ball away in the tackle for Waka.
Yeah, just the ball not going to hand there. I think the game plan might be for some of the players to get the ball in Frank Hallai's hands as soon as possible, but just a bit scratchy the way County sort of moved it then.
Step down, White.
Big threat, Hallai. Hector Elliott. Tremendous off-season recruit. Hallai.
Stop here.
He can kick too.
Midfield bomb. Raikuna. Cody Ray. Tuitavake. 3 passes. They find a little bit of an edge out wide. North Harbour. Bryn Hall got the choice of 3 runners. Opts for Nuia. Nansen. This is good continuity from Harbour. Wide now, Elric. Sasevi. Good hustle and good tackle by Elliott. And wins the ball. Great play from Hika Elliott. Augustine Pulu with a low ball. Hallai, great hands. Takes on Sasevi and Elric. Some good work by Ramakas. Pulu. It's a short ball for Iono. Fights for another 7 or 8 metres. Baden Kerr. Elliott. Big dummy, and the Chiefs hooker gets some momentum going forward. Pulu. Short. Nice offload in the tackle. Now Fritz Lee. Steady and continuity. Very good. A long ball. Iono. Vaipulu. Forward. Nice play from County's Manukau.
Yeah, good build-up, good continuity. I think Hector Elliott featured about 3 times in. He's really getting stuck in from making the initial mistake, giving the 3 points away. He's trying to make up for it, but no, Hector Elliott featured very well then. Certainly gives you the impression, though, if counties can move this ball around, they've turned up to play tonight. They've certainly got the firepower in their back line. Hector Elliott marking Raymond Nuia, only a youngster himself, new to this level, so he's in for a hard night. Nice tidy scrum we saw before. What we should be looking for here is the second shunt. That's where most teams can get their pressure on. So once the initial impact's taken, they'll try and manipulate and getting an angle on the second shunt.
Yes, 9.
Hall, Saseve, Baden Kerr with the tackle. Hall, Elric. With a hustle, Frank Hallai. Scans the defence before deciding to carry the ball himself. Pulu. Sherwin Stowers with a nice flat ball there. Dangerous down the left side. Counties Manukau. Back into the 22. Pulu now. Ramakas at first receiver. The big lock gets them. Go forward. Another 8-metre run. Baden Kerr. Fritz Lee playing in midfield, and then nice show of skill. Cathcart. Cathcart. Saseve holds him up. The try is awarded. Thought that Saseve had done enough. The hold up, Cathcart running to the line like a midfielder with the ball in 2 hands. The player on the outside had got the job done, Adam Cathcart.
Yes, gallant defence by Tua Saseve then, but not quite enough being the last line there. Again, really strong attack from counties.
Yeah, the concern for me was that got taken by Hallai, and then there we saw Lilo come down, too much space, and then once they got it wide, have a look at the Harbour defence there, just stopping. Yep. And that was the problem, that once they stopped, Cathcart went through a big gap. Saseve did his best to hold him there. Some may suggest that double movement, but the referee was in a better position than us, and so that's another 5-pointer. He's a good player as Cathcart.
Good running, very, very strong. I think the initial build-up there, we saw Frank Hallai take the line on, and look, Harbour was pretty much looking, don't run at me, please.
Baden Kerr was outstanding in 2012. He's 2 from 2 in this game. And he's 4 from 4 last week. The bad back 3, Counties Manukau, Levi Pulu and Adam Cathcart. Elric, relatively short on the kickoff.
Someone's got to claim that.
Well, they're going to get the advantage because it came off the shoulder of Jimmy Tupou, who went to go up, so there's nothing wrong with the restarts from Elric. Now it's a matter of getting the right call here.
So Nura, Chris Smith, who was outstanding in line-outs last week. Urin at first receiver. And it was won cleanly by Fritz Lee. Frustration for North Harbour. Again, they go down that left side. Cathcart with a ball available and offloaded in the tackle. Pulu. Dummies on the inside before giving the ball to Firth.
Seven coming in the side. Saw a very good turnover just then with Fritz Lee being the tackler, getting to his feet and taking the ball, purely because the Harbour player that arrived went straight past it, didn't bridge over or make contact. So, of course, Scott Urin may be standing over it, but he hasn't made contact with the opposition, so therefore it's not a ruck. And Fritz Lee being the tackler, he has all rights to play the ball.
Let's stay in here.
Heck of a player, Fritz Lee. Chris Smith, eventually. Hall, Elric. Tui Tavake back on the inside. Good run from the winger. Looking for work in the middle of the park. Hall. Nice play from North Harbour.
Player down for Counties Manukau as well from the line-out. They were complaining actually to the assistant referee that the ball had been knocked forward, and so they pretty much stopped and watched and waited. Nothing happened, and that's why Fritz Lee is just asking the question.
Coming back and having a second crack. There's a ruck's already full, okay? So you get one shot. If you can't get it, just get out. Yeah. But that's why I'm explaining to you now.
I think Hickey Elliott's still a little bit concerned about that ruling. He's still talking about you can have one shot at it, but that's it.
I think that's one thing Richard Kelly's really stamping down tonight. Had one crack at the ball, then leave it. I think the Counties Manukau players tried to have another crack at it, tried to pinch the ball, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, Ronald Raymaker's the man there. Slow to get to his feet.
Elric was 4 from 4 in round 1 of the competition as well in the Battle of the Bridge at Eden Park last week. And on the 22, right in front of the posts. No problem.
Now we saw Richard Kelly telling the referee, telling the Counties players, one crack, leave it, but Harbour need to clean at least half a metre past the ball and keep the Counties players' hands away from it, and then that will clean it up, and they won't have an issue. But they're going to stop over the ball. Of course, Counties are going to get their hands near it.
Well, Raymakers is going to come off. He's not 100%, and that's a good move by the physios. He wanted to play on, but they said no way. And so Ryan Wilson, he's got to be at least 2 metres 03, this guy, because he just walked past and made me feel a little small.
It's not a concussion, Willie?
No, I don't think they're doing that concussion. They've just brought him straight off.
So Ryan Wilson joins the play, and again a good chase from Counties Manukau. And a good use of their wingers on the chase. Now Harbour drive away, makes some good metres going forward. Hall for Elric. Kicks on the long side for Sherwin Stowers. Yeah, a little tacking kick and tidied up by Bryn Hall, but he'd be driven over the touchline.
Leave the ball, 9.
It's clever play by Counties. They caught Bryn Hall up there and obviously used the sideline to their advantage to get put in at the next phase.
They've just been told, you're right, Craig, that it is a concussion. They're just now asking the questions of where he is and what day he was born.
Of course, Willie, most coaches wouldn't let him just walk off and have no chance of replacing him. They've got that time, they may as well use it.
Key offloaded, but it was Raikuna. He wasn't the intended receiver, but he tidied it up now. Tui Tavake. One-on-one with 2 others. A good run from Tui Tavake. Fiaki, it's a mix-up. They're a chance now. They look like they're going to go wide straight away. Baden Kerr wasn't confident to let the ball go to Halai.
I would have been. They may have blown an opportunity there.
Hall for Manahira. He tried to offload, didn't find it. Very good hands from Fritz Lee. Now Pulu.
Cool.
To Tavake. Raikuna.
Some good play in that sequence. Ken, in particular, some of the wingers there, Raikuna driving really hard, as was Tua Tavake, and so was Thompson, Lee Thompson, but just the execution, and that'll concern Liam Barry, just the ball control at crucial times, North Harbour losing it.
Of course, in that build-up, yeah, I think Baden Kerr had Fraden Calais outside. He possibly should have given it and backed up, and something might have come of it.
Okay, Elliott. Wilson.
It's fine. First arriving player.
Nice job, Harbour. Stolen cleanly. Hicka Elliott. Too early, Hicka.
Offside fringes. started.
This front rowers, Craig Dow, looking at the referee.
Referee's
The hell you're talking
always
about?
right. You don't argue. He's never going to change his opinion or his decision.
Many times, many of our viewers have seen Craig Dow doing exactly the same thing, doing his
Oh, look, wouldn't you
very
love
long
to,
and
wouldn't you love the referee to go, yes, no, you're right. Okay, I'm going to
change the decision. You can have the ball. Away you go.
Thanks for pointing that one out to me.
It will never happen. New ear for Smith. Uren. Saseve running on the shoulder of the open side flanker.
He's been busy tonight, Tasevi.
Hall. Elric. That ball is off Radley Law. Tidied up by Wilson.
How can you go over the top of Wilson? He's 6'9".
Pulu. With some hustle from Pleasance Tate, who does well, the front rower. Thompson. Uren playing halfback. From Uia. Hall. Elric. Saseve. Some more, so they've got to find the ground. Otherwise, they're in danger of losing the football, North Harbour. And they are good defence counties, Manukau.
Yeah, sadly for Sasevi that the next arriving player was Elric, all 45 Ks of him, trying to push him forward, and was never going to win the contest. And so that's counties Manukau aware of the rules. And have a look at this. Sasevi goes in. Elric is the next player there, the first 5. He adds his 43 kilos.
Yeah, Baden Kerr, Ray Lilo, and Fritz Lee did a great job there. I think Baden caught him just underneath and held him up. Which, very good play.
Raymaker's back on, so he's passed the test. He knows where he is, fellas. This is good news.
What was his address?
I didn't ask him that.
Okay. I see Ryan Wilson out there for Counties Manukau, an ex-North Harbour player from Silverdale. So he'll be wanting to go hard against his neighbours.
You could arguably, Craig Dowd, ask a front rower a question, and if he got it wrong, he wouldn't necessarily be concussed, would he?
No, and you could argue that the reason he got it wrong, here we go, scrum time.
Yes, line.
Pulu. Kerr. Lilo. Cut out ball for Vaka. Lilo with a pick and go towards the open side. He'd been busy the second 5'8". Adam Cathcart. Eye or not. Very good recycling of the football. And Jimmy Tupou.
Yes, no, he was offside then. Jordan Manahira, he had to get out of the way.
Young kid with a big future, Jordan Manahira. I suppose when you're that close to the football, it's hard to resist the temptation to make a play at it.
I think he just got up off the ground and realised where he was and thought, hey, this is the ball. And yeah.
Nice thing about this North Harbour side, fellas, is they're picking local talent. You've mentioned it, Mataheta from Silverdale. They're just 20 years old.
I'm telling you, when you see that replay, don't you? Doesn't it look like the Fritz Lee one in the first half? He was a tackler, he did have rights to it, and he wasn't formed over a ruck. So we have the beauty of the replay, and I think the referee, well, I won't argue, I won't say he got it wrong, but certainly Jordan Manahira can argue that he thought he was onside and had rights to the ball.
Club. Baden Kerr from a long way out makes it look very easy.
Well, that might be a warning to the North Harbour discipline as well. He cleared that easily by at least 10 metres.
Baden Kerr, he's got a very, very boot on him.
This time going very long. Pulu. Cody Ray with a midfield bomb, and Raikuna underneath it. Halai, bigger athlete, beats him in the air. Baden Kerr. Sherwin Stowers, he's got good feet and good pace. Pulu misses out. Fritz Lee finds Cathcart. And a player coming on the inside. Pulu. Vaipulu. Strong run from the flanker. Pulu. Baden Kerr. Hika Elliott out in the centres. Frank Halai with a tip-on play down the left. Pulu. Too early, North Harbour. There's an advantage. And an offload. Hika Elliott. Powerful runner, the all-back hooker. Ionoji's been good. The front row on debut tonight for Counties Manukau. Ramikas, Baden Kerr. To the line, it's very patient from Counties Manukau. And we're coming back for the penalty.
Yeah, the first penalty was against the Sevi. He never got back on side, and then it was Pleasance Tate, the loose head prop for North Harbour, just hanging around the side of the ruck.
Good contribution this opening 26 from Hika Elliott as well. Fine season for the Chiefs. Pulu, what a contribution he made, Craig Dowd, in the closing 15 minutes of the Super 15 final this year.
He's really come on as a halfback, August Pulu. He's stepped up and putting some pressure on some of the incumbents.
It's a great 1-2 punch at David Rennie had with Tawara Kurbalo to open and August Pulu to close. It worked very well for them.
And that warning, Willie, do we need to say it again?
You can't give away a penalty inside your own half with a kicker like this. 100% so far in the ITM Cup. He's also approaching the 250 mark.
And where's he ranked in the All Black contention? He must be close. Given we're down to number 4 and 5.
Baden Kerr just... While Baden was taking that kick, I just having a look through the team list, and I see in this Counties Manukau team there are Hurricanes, Blues, Chiefs and Crusaders. A real reflection how the game's changed. What do they call it? Franchise contracting?
There's no centralised contracting now. It's an open market. So most players just want to play. They don't care where.
And Pulu just sends the ball down. Cody Ray. Thompson. Raikuna. Started left and went right before being
good pressure from Counties.
Picked up by a couple of defenders. They win the penalty in front of the post.
Very good pressure from Counties there. They piled in the numbers. They knew that Harbour were on the back foot, under pressure.
Raikuna looked and then he thought, what can I do here? And the chase was great. And coming in to help was Thompson there for North Harbour. And here it is, Ken. If he kicks this, he's reached 250 points. What a milestone for Baden Kerr. Such a young man, still such a promising future. Have a look at this. This is where Raikuna gets caught. And then the big number 8 from North Harbour. Have a look at him there, flopped straight over the ball. That's what the referee says you can't do. You've got to support your own body weight.
Ronald Raymakers with a very, very good tackle. It's not a bad effort. Lock on a winger. Kerr.
Well, it's all about clicking that scoreboard over, and that's 9 points within the last 7.5 minutes for Counties. They just notched up. So North Harbour seriously do need to look at their discipline.
Pulu. Cathcart's been busy today. Look at that aggressive work and contact from Fritz Lee as well. Baden Kerr with a question for Cody Ray. And then tidied up eventually by Awhiaki, but stolen by Vaipulu. Now they back at it. Left side has been good for them tonight. Elliott, this big frame through the defence. The ball wasn't able to be caught cleanly. To Tavaki at first receiver. Hall. Wakuna. Star of the New Zealand Sevens program. Thompson. Nice play from County's Manukau. Pulu. Iono with a nice ball over the top for Fritz Lee. Drawing past, look, a little 2-on-1 down the left side. And only a crucial tackle.
And defended by Ono too.
So Tilavaa debuted last week, the young front rower, but County's Manukau again on the front foot. Pulu goes behind 3 players for Bate and Kerr. Then a long ball for Halai. A little bit of space. Right foot step, left hand fend and a try for Frank Halai. Big player, big reputation, and a big finish from this outstanding young winger, Frank Halai.
Well, they're certainly here to play, aren't they? And they're keen to play with speed and momentum. They're shifting the ball. They're not wanting to take their time and they're resting. Every opportunity they get to play and they start Counties get the ball. And a couple of very, very nice touches from the loose head prop from Counties then by Ono.
That is Smith that you see on the ground for North Harbour. He's been out of play for quite some time. It was the quick line out, and here's the turnover again. Vaipulu, he's been a nuisance the whole game for North Harbour. The open side flanker for Counties Manukau. Another turnover. There's the quick feed. Kerr identifying that there was space, and you get it into the hands of this man who's just terrorised teams all around the world on the Sevens circuit. He's so big and strong, hard to stop. Try number 3.
Bate and Kerr, those kind of kicking percentages, the sort of numbers that advance your career. Is now 6 from 6 tonight. What a great job that Sir John Curran has done with Frank Halai. He had plenty of work to do here. First one with a right foot step, the second one with a big fend. As they say, fast, strong, and big.
Very big.
Well, you know, you think of a player like Halai, there's another attacking play. Counties Manukau. Pulu goes behind 2 players for Kerr. That's an attacking kick. Cody Ray. Pressure from Whaka. Lost forward, a rare error from Pulu. So, well, you know, you look at a player like Frank Halai, you think about the influence in his young career. Gordon Titchens, Tana Umanga, and Sir John Kerwin.
Yep,
not bad.
Certainly gets a good coaching. And although that wasn't him under the high ball, there was an earlier high ball put up, and Frank Halai just responded. His aerial skills look great for such a big man.
Change here for North Harbour. Smith coming on in jersey 16, replacing the hooker, Raymond Neua. He doesn't look too good. The left knee looks to be affected. And a player for Counties Manukau as well, getting some attention. So very physical encounter out there. And it's interesting to note too, isn't it, fellas, because when Counties Manukau have kicked the ball, the up and under, they've pressurised North Harbour into making mistakes and forced penalties or turnovers with the try. And on that occasion there, the turnover from Pulu, but Harbour weren't able to capitalise and score any points.
So territory in favour of Counties Manukau, possession in favour of Harbour. It's a funny thing, the stats.
Yep.
Team that's had the least amount of balls scored 3 tries to none.
A thing called X Factor in the team. Scrum's been very, very tidy tonight, actually. Quite happy with them.
Thompson.
County's putting pressure on, getting the left-hand side up.
Bryn Hall is into space, he's into the backfield. He's quick, a right foot step, he loses the ball. Fritz Lee tidies up. But Bryn Hall just reminding us what a great talent he is. Halai with a draw and pass, trying to find some space for Hika Elliott.
Yes, very, very clever play from Bryn Hall. Counties put a lot of pressure on the Harbour scrum, got the left-hand shoulder up, and in doing so, took their flanker out of play. So Bryn Hall spied the gap.
He's an exciting kid, Bryn Hall, out of St Peters a couple of years ago. New Zealand 20s player with the Northcote club. Some time with the Blues as well.
Saw him in South Africa as well, Ken, when he captained the New Zealand under-20s in the final where they were beaten. As we look at Bundy Aki just warming up with the rest of the reserves. And I'll tell you what, he was a real credit to this country. Spoke on a number of occasions to the big crowd and Newlands there. There was 50,000 people there, and well, they played well, and he spoke magnificently to the big crowd, suggesting that South Africa were the better team on that day.
Two things, must wait for me and feed.
Right, we must wait for the referee to tell us to put the ball in. Say no more.
Craig Dowd, 67 games for the All Blacks, including 60 tests, a wonderful career. Very subtly expressing his frustration. Stop it, Craig Dowd.
I've just got to take the M up so the steam can release.
That's right.
I see the steam out there with some of those front rowers. And of course, this is not the referee's fault. This is a directive from the IRB.
So the bottom line is, it's a scrum about 8. Now there's the field position for the home team, Harbour. Just to the left of the posts. And Vaikuna is immediately behind the scrum, no one on the blind. So Thompson holds the ball at the back. Bryn Hall to the line. It's a short ball for Sarsevi. Picked up by the first line of defence. Hall, a little run and then a tip on. And the ball was off a Counties player.
Number 6, offside and close.
Adam Cathcart. You're down by 24.
Take the scrum again, don't you?
Yeah, I think they're going to go for the scrum.
Offside, number 6, close.
Good attacking option, midfield.
What's that?
Why wouldn't you stack the left? Oh, this is it where Cathcart was actually offside. So the penalty there. Good hands from Smith. May have just lost it forward, not picked up. I don't know why you wouldn't stack the left side and then just let Tuatavaki one-on-one with so much space. Bryn Hall showed how much speed he has got. So I wonder if they can promote the right-hand side, just 8, 9, 14 outright.
Let's go, guys, please. Quick up.
Oh, in my day, Willie, we'd just gone for the pushover.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A lot of things were better back in our day.
Yeah.
Just to the right of post, about 6 out. It's a 4-4-2 split for Harbour. Bryn Hall's been full of running in the last couple of minutes. So that's an opportunity, perhaps. Tui Tavake. And Cody Ray out to the right. It's another option.
Crouch.
And then Elric and the 3 others down to the left. So
Sit.
those are the running options for Harbour. Hall. Thompson. Now the drive coming from Harbour. Very close. And an advantage, Bryn Hall. Going to leave it with the forwards. And driven back. Now another opportunity, perhaps. Very, very close, Harbour. Hall, they've got an advantage. And will be coming back for the penalty. So 5 out, chance to regroup. Bryn Hall to the line, a little ducking run underneath some defenders. 2 metres out now. Pleasance Tate. Power running from the front row, desperate defence. You're in the flanker, Jordan Manahira.
What do you do here, Dowdy? Do you take the points because this is your last chance, or do you keep the pressure on with the scrum?
I think they've got to go for the scrum at 30 points to 6. And we haven't played 40 minutes yet. there's a lot of rugby to be played in the second half. If they can get away with getting a 5-pointer here, then at least they can go into half-time, you know, with some sort of plan.
Well, the scrum certainly is solid enough, so what they've got to do is try and promote that right-hand side again.
Same goes, same down.
Pleasance, Tate, Smith and Ben Afiaki.
With Ben Afiaki on your tight head, he's one man you'd want to get that right shoulder.
And Barry, the Harbour coach, with some serious thinking to do at half-time. Thompson.
There it is, they've got the shoulder.
Thompson holds off with a left-hand fend. A good tackle from Fritz Lee. Bryn Hall. Short ball, a good charging run from Smith. There's a Counties Manukau player underneath. The referee looking for downward.
Easy, guys.
They're the boys. First time they played each other in 2013. Just say hello, how you going? No sin bins or yellow cards, should I say, in round 1.
So they're looking for Adrian Smith. Try to Adrian Smith, the reserve hooker. That was the assistant referee's call, Willie.
Adrian Smith. So it's a little 8-9 play.
Yep.
Thompson.
Good right hand.
Big fend and a good tackle from Fritz Lee. Then running on the shoulder of Bryn Hall. You can see the reaction from the Harbour players, which is predictable, of course. And a good run. He runs at Pulu, big man on a little man. And we didn't see it, but the assistant referee did on that side.
Well, aren't you glad they made the call and not went to the TMO? Because if he had seen it, and that was a try, certainly wouldn't have been judged by the TMO.
So a good opening 40 minutes from Counties Manukau. In the first half, they lead by 13 points to 11. The outstanding Sherwin Stowers is with Willie Lossy.
Sherwin, not the end that you wanted, so what do you say at the break to make sure that the second half you don't lapse in concentration like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're doing really well, and we just have to keep putting that pressure on and not giving those tries like that.
How difficult are those conditions with the wet ball?
Yeah, it is a bit slippery, but I think we're doing quite well.
All right, mate, thanks for talking.
Half-time here at North Harbour Stadium. Counties Manukau 30, North Harbour 11. good 40 minutes for the visitors. Counties Manukau 3 tries to 1. And we've seen an outstanding exhibition of goal kicking from Baden Kerr. Continues his fine form from week 1 of this competition. And Adrian Smith, the 3rd consecutive hooker from Harbour to score a try in 2 weeks. And there'll be a lot more contentment in a team on the right than there will be on the left. Tim Nanai-Williams in there, adding his experience and sage advice to this young team, who have played some very good football on a full moon here at North Harbour Stadium. And Vaipulu, this open side flanker who's had a tremendous first half for Counties Manukau, gets on the end of this. Baden Kerr has been a real creator. Then through the middle of the park they go. And charging through the middle, Vaipulu gets a very good try.
Of course, with building phases again, shifting the ball. Of course, Cathcart here showing his strength. Gallant defence from Sasebi, but just not enough. Cathcart dotting down.
And then Frankie Halai, 103 kilograms of pure blues beef with a right foot step, the left hand fan, and bangs the ball down for an emphatic try, which allowed them the luxury of a 30-11 lead at half-time, with Thompson making a big run, and then Adrian Smith, the replacement hooker, running on the shoulder of Bryn Hall. Gets the job done.
You'd have to say that's what Harbour needed at that time, or they probably needed it a little bit before then, but that's something to go into half-time and say, well, guys, let's not wait for the second half, let's start now. And here we see the stats, and really it's quite surprising. Harbour have the territory, Harbour have the possession. The breakdown turnovers for me is the one to highlight. The counties back 3 have been very, very busy. Harbour have not been strong enough over the ball at set piece. They're getting turnovers and they're punishing them because of it. But you've got to look at the team, all those stats there, and they are stacked in Harbour's favour. But when you've got a team with some X-factor players like counties do, you can sting the opposition.
So half-time, Counties Manukau 30 over North Harbour 11.
Oh, we're pretty disappointed with our ball retention. We're sloppy around how direct we were in the first.
Welcome back to North Harbour Stadium, Counties Manukau. The first team out, the North Harbour coach Liam Barry is with Willie Lawson.
Thanks, Ken. Liam, obviously well finished in that first half, but what was the message at the break?
Oh, we're pretty disappointed with our ball retention. You know, we're sloppy around how direct we were in the first half. Not playing enough territory. You know, it's really wet out there and giving away easy penalties.
All right, mate. Thanks for talking.
Thanks, Will.
No changes to Sasevi if he can get his hands on the football.
He's been
players
very busy
to turn it around.
To he's really put the effort into Harbour, albeit at times battling by himself. But Liam Barry touched on the breakdown and being a lot stronger over the ball, and he's absolutely spot on.
Baden Kerr.
Well, we were told they were going to be vigilant at this part of the game. They wanted to make sure that it was a clear contest from the kickoff. And somebody was in front of the ball there, yeah, clearly.
Asi Tuala. Well, that's the most blatant that I've seen.
Yes, when you got that speed, you really don't need to leave that early.
Mind you, it's been a real feature, though, their chases from their kicks. Craig hasn't the Counties Manukau been really good in that department tonight.
They have, and they put a lot of pressure on when they get there, and that's the fundamental part of the game. If you put that pressure on, you can get a turnover from when the ball comes down.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Yes, 9.
Good solid scrum.
Thompson. Hall to the line. Hall with a nice fend. Geez, made some good runs tonight, Bryn Hall. Good field position. Now the pick and go from Thompson into the 22. This is the sort of start they need. Adrian Smith, the try scorer, in between two defenders. Good run. Well, then they lose the ball, and Pulu just sends it down.
And it was Vaipulu again, the man that is causing all sorts of problems for North Harbour. They're not getting a contact, they're not getting a body on him. And here's the run from Bryn Hall. Showed in the first half just how explosive he is, getting on the outside of Vaipulu. And just the tackle there from Lilo brought him down.
The law's been good the second 5. Pulu. It's a short ball. Ramakas tidies it up. An attacking kick from Halai to Tavake. Asi Tuala going back. He's got Baden Kerr as a kicking option. Elric. A quick run from Aki. Sasevi. Kuna. Hall. Afiaki, the captain. It's his big frame over the advantage line. Nice. Elric. Urin, the open side flanker. Nice continuity this from Counties Manukau. They come away with the ball. Gee, the Counties Manukau going on the back foot, Harbour, and then there was a player held back.
You almost get the feeling that Counties are quite happy for Harbour to have the ball because they're not penetrating. They might get a bit of line drive and create some go forward in the close quarter contact, but they're really not breaking their line or looking threatening.
Bryn Hall has been good today. There's the tackle by Cathcart, and it's Iono, the loose head prop.
Changes for Counties Manukau soon as well. Vaipulu and Vaka to be replaced by 19 and 22. So that's Sean Reedy and also Bundyaki.
John Elric.
We talk about Baden Kerr being a sharpshooter. John Elric is renowned for the North Harbour region for being a very, very good kicker, slotting them from just about everywhere.
Well, he's been good, fellas, as Vaipulu. Obviously, it must be an injury because he's been fantastic in the first 43 minutes of this game. Crucial turnovers he's been responsible for.
Sean Reedy's a good player, so they won't lose anything. Underneath that ball is Nansen. And then Durant, tackled by Firth. Hall, Elric. Oh, Frank Halai attacking a bouncing ball on the ground. One-on-one, a big left-hand fend. Talk about big, strong and fast. Frankie Halai, the total package. A long way down for the 103-kilogram winger. Made it look so easy. And then that big, powerful fend and his pace. Too good for the North Harbour defence. A great individual try from one of the stars of 2013.
Well, you're quite right. I mean, you talk man for man, you talk game plan, you talk structure within the game, but you get players that are just that big, that much, that strong, with that much X factor. He's a hard man to stop. Frank Halai at full pace. Could have passed inside here, but John Elric, like Willie said before, all 45 kgs of him is not big enough to stop Frank Halai.
Well, there was a miscommunication there between North Harbour as well. Chris Smith getting in the way, and so that meant that the pass was delayed, and that's where it was charged down. And then two of the smaller players trying to stop him, Bryn Hall first, and then John Elric, no contest. And that's the bonus point try as well.
Aidan Kerr is a machine.
Well, he stepped out of the first tackle and he just, I know we shouldn't make comparisons, but there was another guy that played for Counties that wasn't too bad on the left wing named John Lomu, and it was Lomu like this here. This step there to break through the tackle. Unbelievable. Both Tongans too, which is also a great comparison.
Well, you know, we just talk about those kinds of athletes. Israel Folau's another one who we'll see against the All Blacks
Willie Lose
on Saturday night. The only thing Willie Losse got in common is the skin colour, as Pulu goes deep for Baden Kerr. Thompson. Big number 8. Tries to fend off a couple of defenders. And Hall, Elric. Baden Kerr back in cover. Asi Tuala played a bit of fullback in his day. David Wakuna. Hall, good timing from Fritz Lee. Sasevier, halfback.
Body weight there.
Afiaki. Sasevier. Nansen. Speed and aggression of the Counties Manukau defence forces another error.
Well, it's the breakdown turnovers that are killing Harbour.
Oh, sorry. Apologies, I've gone the wrong way with the penalty. It's against 7, Rugby form.
And they are rewarded. Talk about breakdown turnovers and penalties and being aggressive in the contact area. Counties Manukau.
If I could just highlight Harbour at the breakdown, their numbers are going off their feet, and once they're off their feet, they're completely out of play. There we saw it just being too strong. Counties player on the ball, ripping it away. But again, losing their feet at the breakdown, taking themselves out of play, and it's something they need to tidy up on.
I like the way that Counties Manukau, as soon as they get a turnover, is that they move it to space. They move it 1 or 2 wide of the ruck, and they're so effective in that. Just picking up on your point, Craig, the body position as well needs to be questioned with North Harbour. Some of them going in too high.
I tell you, the one player that's added some physicality and some intimidation to the Counties Manukau team is Hika Elliott. This is not the same Counties Manukau team that took Wellington on the tackle ball area last week. There's a little bit more venom in their arrivals, a little bit more sting in their contacts. It's been rewarded in the breakdown turnovers that they've won.
So Baden Kerr is human after all.
He is.
Here comes that change. Sorry, Bundy Arki, and this is the crucial thing, is trying to bring these guys back from Super Rugby, making sure that they're not overexposed or they're not too tired. Replacement for Harbour as well, 20 for 9. So Brenton Halua comes on, replacing Bryn Hall. And also David Waikuna is replaced by number 22, Tavita Lee, who's on debut, the young 18-year-old from Massey High School.
Thank you. Come on.
Elric. Sherwin Stowers. Pulu. Arki with a late ball. Tuala. The little double pump put Tuala off.
Just picking up on that, Ken, the prospect of Tavita Lee. He's been in Gordon Titchen's 7 side as well for an 18-year-old. And he must just be absolutely thrilled to be out here.
Yeah, he's still in school. I commentated a Massey High School game where he was playing on the wing as well, not that long ago.
Yeah, he's made his debut for the Blues, I believe, against France before he's played for his provincial union. There's certainly some seriously big reps on Tavita Lee.
Here he is, just 18 years old. That's Adrian Smith for Chris Smith. Not straight. So Hillier and August Pulu. No one on this narrow blind for Counties Manukau. So Pulu, Chief, Baden Kerr, the Blues. Fritz Lee.
Scrum from Harbour.
Pulu, decoy, behind. Baden Kerr with a tip on for Sherwin Stowers and an inside ball for Frank Harlow. When the ball gets out to that side, everybody gets excited. Pulu now for Raymakers. Smart play down the right side. Good hustle on Sean Reedy. He's got to his work straight away. He's played.
I think Harbour might have just got out of jail there. Had the tight forward not been in the back line and been able to get it a little bit wider. They had numbers. I think Hallow was screaming for it. Gutsy defence. Here we see the ball going. Sherwin Stowers. So it was a moment after this one.
Adrian Smith. Tanahumanga coaching the Counties of Manukau team. A couple of wonderful All Blacks involved in this contest tonight. Umanga 79 games. Craig Dowd 67. Uren loses the ball forward.
Yeah. Possession one, obviously. Pass wasn't right for Uren, wasn't in the right position. He dropped him back a little bit too far. Obviously a planned set-piece move, but didn't come off. Little things like that, the frustrations will start coming out in Harbour.
So just on that shot, there's the 4-2 split for Counties Manukau. That's Sherwin Stowers. Frank Halai out to the right. Kerr, Arki, and Lilo. Tuala down the left side. I don't know. To the right of your screen. So here's the shape. Of course, Fritz Lee was another running option. Sean Reedy, we know, he's played a lot of sevens. The 19, he can run the football as well.
Well, the 2-7 exponents and Stowers and Halai just having a bit of a chat there, just walking over and talking to each other. Probably saying there's a young 18-year-old kid that's marking us. Why don't we get on his wing?
That's what I'd be thinking too, Willie.
Fine.
Let's see what the kid's made of.
Yes,
Heck of an ask at 18. Fritz Lee.
Far side.
As soon as the big boys will let them play. Now the scrums have been relatively tidy tonight. Probably the first couple of resets we've had to encounter.
So if that little cameo is anything to go by, it was going to be Lee to Pulu to Stowers to Halai down the right side.
And then we can start going.
Or were they teasing us? Baden Kerr, there's another running option out to the open side. And outside him, he's got Lilo and Bundy Aki. A couple of choice attackers for him to select from.
Crouch.
So an array of options available for Counties Manukau on attack.
Set.
Let's have a look at what they do. Pulu, Fritz Lee, same play. Pulu to the line, inside ball. Sherwin Stowers down the middle. The captain Fritz Lee over the 22. Pulu goes behind a couple of players. Iono, who's been good on debut, the loose head prop. Pulu. Sean Reedy has to lean back. That's the 22. Same way football. Hooker Elliott. Good run from the hooker. Pulu's a short ball for Bundy Aki. Very efficient. They concede a penalty after their build-up was so efficient.
Yeah, I think they'll be slightly frustrated with that one, Counties. It was a good build-up, a good attack from the set piece.
I can't keep blowing penalties for guys cleaning out from the side. Okay, they must come through the gate. Or next one's going to the goal.
There's a very clear message from Richard Kelly. He wants the players coming through the gate.
For entry.
You're having that player available. I'm very impressed with Elliott tonight. Looks like he's been here a long time. It's only his first game for Counties Manukau.
That's the clean out. Sorry, Ken, that's the clean out there by Raymakers. And you're right about Elliott. He's taken his angry pills today.
Good. Really lifted their enthusiasm in the combat zone. It's a four-man line out. Adrian Smith throws short. For Smith, thought about an offload back in the middle now. Afiaki. Hillier. Ulrich to the line. Change of direction for Tuitavake. Slips the first two defenders. Good run from Tuitavake. Hillier. Pula with a good ball and all tackle. Drove his opponent back over the advantage line. Jordan Manahira. Hillier. Elric. Misses outside Seve, picks up Urin. Loses the ball in the tackle. Halai, standing start.
Release.
Another pick and go. It's a very good one. Counties Manukau enthusiastic with the ball.
Right out now, one. Pass the ball.
Pulu, little tip on play down the right-hand side.
Got them for a little knock-on.
There's Slade McFarlane looking on, fellas. He got called in today to have a chat to the Harbour side. 125 matches in the jersey, and so Liam Barry called him in to have a bit of a chat to the boys about what the jersey's all about.
Been a better 17 minutes in the second half for Harbour. Much more competitive than they were in the opening 40.
Let's go, guys, please.
Fiaki, another chief.
Bind. Set. Yes, nice.
Yeah,
Solid scrum.
8-9 play in the open side. Short ball for Saseve. Yeah. A couple of decoy runners for Elric. Now, Peter Aki. Cody Ray. A little narrow blind for Manahida. Recycles efficiently now. Nansen.
Through the middle, fine, play.
Adrian Smith pirouettes out of a couple of tackles. Solid run from the replacement hooker. Now through the middle, Urin, who's tried hard tonight, the open side flanker. Now Hillier. Pleasance Tate. Powerful run from the prop. Hillier. Smith. Now Elric taken in a two-man tackle.
Right, use it.
Good position. Smith is wide. Have another go. Pleasance Tate. The defence from Counties Manukau is holding. They build the pressure. North Harbour. Aki. Peter Aki. Hillier.
Use it, balls out.
Tavita Lee looking for some work. Youngest player in the park.
This is great defence from Counties.
And Fritz Lee with a big steal. The ball was only available momentarily. And now Sherwin Stowers will scramble the ball out. Solid play from Harbour. Outstanding defence from Counties Manukau. And Willie lost their sideline with James Parson.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Here with James Parsons. James, you'd rather be out there, but what can you observe from here? What's the big difference?
Yeah, I just don't think we've... probably the big thing is we haven't executed our kicking plan. We've been kicking our balls contestable and then haven't been getting the chase line and haven't really been getting out of our own half. You know, when we have been down there, we've come away with points, and you know, we're stuck to the game plan. But I think it's our kicking that's probably let us down tonight.
What about losing the ball? I mean, is that just it's going to come in time with more training and the guys getting more confidence?
Yeah, I just think we just need to be a lot more direct. We've got to stop looking for the flashy stuff and just, you know, set some targets and build some phases, build some pressure, and then we can work off that later in the game. You know, we can't go to that fancy stuff too early, and it's something we've been training and something we've been talking about, but we're just not executing at the moment.
All right, James, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, Willie. Thanks, mate.
So Finau from North Harbour is on, and Simon Lamalu is on for Counties Manukau.
I think Erwin Finau might be someone that can actually help Harbour. I mean, the penetration is what they need. They've got the ball, they've got the territory, they have the stats all in their favour. They've actually got to crack the Counties' defence, which you can't afford to leave the ball at the base of the breakdown too long, because Counties just get organised and they look like they're just swatting the boys at the moment. They look bigger and stronger.
Full line out, Adrian Smith. Erwin Finau with the first line out win. Afiaki. Really competing hard. Counties Manukau and the ball taken in by their opponent. Thompson with it. Hillier, Elric, Saseve. Cut out ball and a good read and a good shot. Ball and all in defence. Halai. We've seen what he can do with a football, and we've just seen how good he is without it. With a beautiful tackle. There he is, getting the acknowledgement of his more experienced players.
Well, it just typifies everything about the game tonight, doesn't it? Harbour are playing with a little bit too much depth. They're having to pass the ball back. Counties have got time to see what's in front of them. And Frank Halai come in, and what a hit.
Get some of that in you. Look at this. Hoo-yah. Yes.
And then the arriving players for Counties, they make sure that it's not just about the hit, it's about getting the ball back after hits like that.
He still hasn't recovered, and a change there. Off comes Thompson for Harbour, and Manukau Bavulo in game number 42, so plenty of experience. He's got plenty of go forward as well, so he might be that person you're talking about, Craig, getting over the advantage line.
Correct. Well, Lee Thompson's put his hand up tonight, though. He's got good leg drive. He's played well. He's another youngster coming through the system.
So they've had the most ball. They've had the most field position. They spent most time.
Do we have a stat?
Manukau quarter, and they are losing by plenty on the scoreboard.
Ken, do we have a stat for confidence? Because if that was shown out there, you'd see County's confidence, and their tail is right up at the moment.
And then, you know, we're seeing it more and more in the modern game that teams who don't win possession of the football win the game. It was a hallmark of the Crusaders. It was most certainly a hallmark of the Hurricanes in 2012, where they had, I think, the lowest possession and the best attack. So sometimes these stats don't make any sense at all. Halur. But most certainly having some X-factor players can change it. Halur, a little 8-9 play, showed the ball to Saseve, then took the line on himself. Urin, the open side flanker. Halur is underneath the tackle of Fritz Lee. Elric tries to split Tuala and Halai. Elric. Saseve. Started right, headed back left. Scott Urin, he's been busy the open side for Harbour. Tried hard in the beaten side so far tonight. Tavita Lee. Halur.
Of course, it's that deep. Allowing counties to get their defence organised.
Makers with the tackle. Elric. Tuitavake. One-on-one with Arcade and promoted the ball on the inside. Elric hit by Pulu.
Backwards.
Halur. Malakai Ravulu. Straight into it. Saseve. Tavita Lee.
Release two.
Okay, Elliott with the tackle. Cody Ray. Tuitavake looking for a couple of right-hand fans. Then goes forward. August Pulu comes in with a tackle over the top. Ravulu. Second carry in 4 phases. Afiaki from a standing start.
The standing start says everything. Harbour need players running onto the ball, not letting the defence come to them.
Elric. Nice long ball. Tuitavake. Oh, good again at the tackle ball area. They are rewarded once again.
And plenty of changes coming up here, fellas. Let me go through them. Big night for 2 players in particular. Michael Lear in 16, replacing Hika Elliott for Counties Manukau. Also, Ryan Wilson is back on. And Kia Nufi, he's making his debut. So 2 youngsters making their debut for Counties Manukau. For North Harbour, Alex Woonton is in jersey 17, 120 kegs. He's playing his Blazer game. And also John Elric, he's been tagged out by James Semple.
So both the 10s are changed. Semple comes on for Harbour and Nuffy comes on for Counties.
He's been outstanding tonight, Hika Elliott. Really love it. Physicality and aggression he brings to the contest. One of these Counties Manukau players are young. They'll look up to him as a senior player with the success that he's had at the Chiefs.
Well, it's interesting they've reshuffled the Harbour backline as well, because Cody Ray's come up from fullback to first 5, and James Semple's gone back to that position.
Well, we talked about the attack being standing still and taking it backwards and letting the defence come. So maybe Cody Ray moving into 10 is going to make the Harbour attack on the front foot.
Got to be a good game tomorrow at Yarrow Stadium. Taranaki and Wellington.
Bind.
Pulu. Of course, the Ranfurly Shield and Waikato Stadium tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Pulu, not much room, forced to go to the line himself. And Fritz Lee. Nice variation. Very solid in this part of the game tonight, Pulu. Not able to be caught by Michael Lear. They were looking down that right side again for big Frankie Halai. Ramakas.
Release.
The big difference that I've noticed down here has been that the Super Rugby players. I mean, Counties had an outstanding year last year, obviously, to get up to the Premiership, and then it's just those experienced players that have come back that are just doing the right things at the right time. Lilo and Aki, we know how dangerous they were last year. Pulu's been good. Fritz Lee, so that's really the difference between these two teams. I know North Harbour are looking for guidance and leadership, but they haven't really got those X-factor players that Counties Manukau seem to produce.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Willie. You know, the likes of the names you mentioned, Lee, you know, Ray Lilo and Halai and Bundy Aki, going away, having a season at Super Rugby and just getting them, living the life of a professional rugby player, getting the development they need and coming back to the ITM Cup. Certainly different players.
All Blacks and Wallabies, our coverage from Westpac Stadium in Wellington begins at 6:30 on the Saturday night. It's a sellout. Fritz Lee with the win. And the captain carries. Kane Hensey. There in jersey 20. So he's able to find the ground and the ball comes back for Cathcart. Tuala with a run down the left side. Close to the touchline, Hensey. Firth. Fritz Lee loses the ball forward. And we've been talking about what a game and what an influence Hika Elliott had on this Counties Manukau team tonight. He's with Willie Lawson.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. I've just been mentioning that you've been talking him up, and Hickey, it looked like you were really enjoying yourself out there.
Yeah, it was good, mate. You know, we've got a young team here, and you know what a bloody difference a week makes. You know, we got a hiding from Wellington last week, and you know, we're going good guns tonight.
Physicality, and do you see yourself that's the role that you've got here?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm one of the older players in the team. You know, for what? So, like I said, we've got a young team, so it's good to try and utilise my experience.
All right, mate. New scrum laws, how do you find them?
Yeah, you know, it's a bit difficult at first, but we're adjusting really well.
Well played, mate.
Cheers, thanks very much.
He's calling himself old at 26. Please, Hika, please.
Well, this is the ITM Cup, though. And quite right, getting out there. He is the man that the team look up to. He plays well. All the youngsters, and they are youngsters in behind his forward pack, they look up to him and they play well too.
I was going to ask him if he took his angry pills, but he's a bit bigger. When you're sitting next to him, so I thought I'd just walk away quickly.
Surely not bigger than you, Willie.
Hey, give our guns a run for the money. He looks like he's got pretty big guns under that jersey.
Oh, you'll have to pop down to Les Mills and give him a pump.
Please.
He could get 100 first-class games this year, just at 26, Hika. I remember coaching against him when he was just a schoolboy, and he seems like yesterday is Allure with a nice break in the open side. Saseve on the wraparound. Jordan Manahira. He's hit ball and all by Fritz Lee and driven back. Awhiaki. It's an advantage. Allure. Cody Ray now playing at 5'8", sends the ball long.
If nothing else, Ken, I just want to say that I just love the spirit of the North Harbour team. Sure, they're behind by 23 points, but they're still wanting to try and play the game, still trying to want to get their patterns going, and you know, it's a tough start for them as well. Auckland, obviously, then Counties and Wellington next Wednesday. Not an easy start.
Well, there's less than 10 to go, and it's only down 7-3 in the second half. They really have picked it up.
Yeah, they have. I mean, what they do need to do is play with a little bit more pace. So the contrasting play between the Counties team and the North Harbour team. North Harbour are just taking a little bit too long to play the ball at the breakdown, whereas Counties hit, move, hit, move, hit, move, and that's what puts the defences under real pressure.
Adrian Smith. As Chris Smith calling, he's one of the most outstanding line-out jumpers in the game. Chris Smith, Finar with the win. Cody Ray on the move. A couple of runners back on the inside. Peter Aki. Wilson tries to lock him up in defence. Allure. Wooton. Back the left side. Simple. Cathcart. Again, they win the ball. That pushes it up to, I think, 12-3. Breakdown, turnovers 1. Halai, one-on-one with Sarsevi. Runs over the top of Sarsevi, over the top of Davida Lee. Promotes the ball. Now Lamalu. Hansey. Wilson. He looks good, the big second rower. Anufe. Hansey. Cathcart loses the ball forward. Peter Aki finds a couple of metres through the middle of the Counties Manukau defence. Urin. Smith. Sarsevi. Sarsevi for Davida Lee. One-on-one with Sean Reedy. Sarsevi. Jordan Manahira. Davida Lee, gee, busy, looking for work. This 18-year-old schoolboy from Massey High School, year 13 student. And now here's a chance through the middle. Nice ball for Smith, staying alive. Good work from Halure. Ooh, too long.
Fritz Lee again. You've mentioned those turnovers. Well, no, that's maybe the 23rd as Fritz Lee taps and goes.
Looking for some space straight away. Tuala.
Not held in the tackle.
Hansen. Not sure who that was meant for, but Bandiaki. Davida Lee. He's looked very comfortable. Put Aki out there, loses the ball behind him. But his 4 or 5 runs that he's had since coming on have been very good. The young winger, already been in the New Zealand Sevens, as Craig Dowd alluded to. Already played for the Blues against France. And he is a big talent with an enormous future.
Of course, this is his debut tonight, so he's got a long future ahead of him.
Yeah, speaking of future, they're bringing off the thoroughbred. They want to invest them. And he scored 2 tries, and so Sam Vaka comes back on in jersey 13. What a performance from Frank Halai.
Yeah, tremendous game. One of the game's real entertainers, Frank Halai. I know I speak for a lot of people. I love watching him play. Sam Vaka is back and gone to the right wing.
I'll tell you, someone who had a big smile on his face when Halai was walking off was Davida Lee.
He's a young. Well, we're going to see a lot of this kid as well. In 7s or in 15s.
Fine. Set. It's 9.
Hansey, Fritz Lee. Vaka coming from the right wing. To midfield, Hansey. Ramakas. Just building patiently. And Lilo.
They want to play. You know, with 4.5 minutes left. Chance of another try.
Just a reminder, if you joined our coverage late. 30 points to 11, the half-time score. In the first half, 7-3 the score in the second half. So 37 plays 14. And it has indeed been a contrast in halves. Cody Ray. So North Harbour just be looking to get something positive out of this. Michael Lear with the throw. Ball's loose and won by Chris Smith. Cody Ray is deep. Now Tuala will throw quickly, I suggest, and he does. Stowers started right, came back the way that he started. Showing Stowers with a good run down the left side. The brilliant fullback finds his captain. Inside the 22 they go. Counties Manukau. Hansey. Anufe. Good tackle, but offloads the ball. And now Hansey goes again. Urin. Takes care of business. Cathcart. Ratmakers working hard in the middle for Counties Manukau. Ryan Wilson. Anufe. That ball wasn't forward by much. So the counter attack. Tavita Lee.
There he is.
Playing an advantage.
Still play the advantage under pressure.
You're in.
I'll come back because there was no advantage, but that chase by North Harbour was, well, I looked at when Sherwin Stowers got the ball from the early throw, and he looked at one way, then the other, and the forwards had stumbled up. They were all over the place, and he just accelerated and found space where Fritz Lee was. That could have easily been another try. Have a look at this. The chase by North Harbour, they were staggered all over the show, and he identified forwards coming up, and they weren't in a line, and that's where he went straight through.
Yes, he's a dangerous man, isn't he? With a bit of space, Sherwin Stowers. We know what he can do. We've seen it on the 7th circuit.
Phenomenal player. Stowers. Hello. Tavita Lee. Lilo. Bandiaki. Sarsevi. There's some talent out there. Less than 2.
Set. Hold. Hold. Yes.
Well, there's some front rowers that'll be burning in their necks because the referee decided he wasn't ready to put the ball in.
Think about a counter attack. Tuala.
Keep coming.
Brenton Hillier. Sarsevi. Aki. Aki with a left foot step. Lee with an aggressive clean out. Hansey. Ryan with nice skill for Ray Lilo. Hansey. Lee. To make a second grab for the ball, so it upset the momentum a little bit. A bit of width in the passing. Muscling up. Look at that position. That's a significant advantage. 59-41. They're losing. Hansey. Short play. Hansey. Lee. Very direct at the finish. Counties Manukau. Hansey. Kia Nufe.
They go wide.
Bandiaki. Sherwin Stowers was running an outline that they call it, and then Vaka comes back towards the middle. Reedy. Hansey. Anufe to the line. 3 decoy runners. It's a show on the outside. Good skill. What do you expect it was going to come at some point? And it's Asi Tuala on the buzzer with a big finish.
Shouldn't be surprised because he scored 9 tries in 2012. And I tell you what, the kid turns, here's a kid because he turns 24 tomorrow. That's not a bad way to celebrate 24 years with a try.
Well, I think you find most Counties Manukau fans will be breathing a much deserved sigh of relief after last week's performance. They have shown us the form they showed us last year and really bounced back from that performance against last week against North Harbour tonight.
So there is potentially a long-standing score that might be broken, with 43 being the most points that counties Manukau have posted against North Harbour in their history. It's sitting now on 42, and Ki Anufe, a solid contribution at the end, looking to make the score 44, and he does so. A historical milestone of sorts for counties Manukau, and a comprehensive win in the end. 44 points to 14. Disappointment for the home team Harbour, who now move to 0-2. Look at the size of Wilson in that group, and the captain Fritz Lee is downstairs with Willie Lawson.
Yeah, Fritz, you'd be absolutely thrilled with that performance, especially the first